You don't have a motivation problem. You already know what to do. The real question is why you're not doing it. Welcome to the Doing What You Know Friday community video. These Fridays are about slowing things down just enough to reflect, reconnect, and reinforce what you're building. Not just in your business or goals, but in yourself. If you've had a strong week, great. If it's been messy, you're still exactly where you need to be. Welcome to the first Doing What You Know Friday community video. These Fridays are different from what we do on Mondays. Monday is about clarity and teaching. Friday is about integration. This is where we slow things down enough to reflect on the week, talk honestly about what actually happened, and reinforce the kind of person you're becoming in the process. If you had a great week, awesome. If the week felt messy, inconsistent, or frustrating, you're still exactly where you're supposed to be. Progress doesn't look clean while it's happening. Most people quit silently, not dramatically. They don't announce it. They just stop showing up. Fridays are important because this is where people usually drift. Weekends break momentum if there's nothing anchoring it. So this conversation exists to help you review without judgment, learn without shame, and recommit without pressure. This isn't about hype. It's about staying connected long enough for change to stick. Here's something you need to hear clearly. Struggle does not mean you're doing it wrong, but staying stuck does mean something needs to change. Both things can be true. A lot of people think if I was really built for this, it wouldn't feel this hard. That's not how growth works. Growth feels hard because it threatens familiar identity. The version of you that feels safe right now was built to survive, not to expand. So when resistance shows up, it's not a signal to stop. It's a signal to pay attention. Let's talk about wins, and I want to reframe this. A win is not always a result. A win is a behavior repeated. Some of the strongest wins I see in this community look like someone posting even when it felt awkward, someone asking a real question instead of staying quiet, someone choosing consistency over intensity. Those wins don't feel exciting in the moment, but they build the identity that actually lasts. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. And identity is shaped by small actions done consistently. Let's address the core issue head on. You don't need more information. If information changed people, everyone who read a book would be transformed. The gap between knowing and doing exists because action forces identity change. Action makes you visible. Visibility creates vulnerability. Vulnerability triggers self-protection. So the mind delays, it rationalizes, it convinces you to prepare more. That's not laziness. That's fear dressed up as logic. Until you understand that, you'll keep fighting yourself instead of working with how change actually happens. This is why environment matters more than motivation. Willpower is unreliable. Identity reinforcing environments are not. Every meaningful shift in my life came from doing something I already knew I should do, not something new, something uncomfortable. And every time there was hesitation. The difference wasn't courage. It was the decision to stop negotiating with that hesitation. You don't eliminate fear by thinking. You shrink it by acting. And the smallest action taken consistently is more powerful than the biggest insight never applied. Here's the question I want you to answer honestly. What did you almost do this week but didn't? Not what you failed at, what you hesitated on. Now ask yourself this. What version of me was I protecting by not doing it? That question changes everything because now the problem isn't motivation. It's identity alignment, and identity can be rebuilt. Here's your commitment for the weekend. One action you already know you should take. Not 10, not perfect, just one. Do it before Monday. Momentum is not built in big moments. It's built when you keep promises to yourself. That's how internal trust is rebuilt. If you're watching this and you're not active inside the Doing What You Know community, understand this. You don't need more motivation. You need an environment that keeps calling you forward when your old habits pull you back. That's what this community exists for. Join us at doingwhatyouknow.com/school. That's SKOOL. Stay visible, stay engaged, and keep doing what you know. I'll see you inside. If you're watching this and you're not actively inside the Doing What You Know community, understand this. Progress doesn't come from knowing more. It comes from being in an environment that keeps pulling you forward when you normally drift back. That's what this community exists for. Join us at doingwhatyouknow.com/school. It's SKOOL. Get involved, stay visible, and keep doing what you know.